everyone, and welcome back to Choice TV. This is John. Glad to be here with you guys, and I'd like to remind you to please click on that subscribe button so that you can keep up with every video that we publish or every video that you would like to see. Be sure to click on the little bell on your screen. You can set your notifications. That way you are notified anytime we publish a new video. So this has been kind of a touch and go type of stream. I've tried to do it a couple times, and I ran into a couple little bumps in the road, I guess. But hopefully we can go through this time and everything will run smoothly. Before I do my screen share, I'm going to try real quick to pull up the file that I want to demonstrate with using a screen reader. Here, go to class 2019, and so we're going to do the juvenile justice book. I'm going to hopefully. Okay, open with Adobe. Any student that uses a screen reader that you might have in your class, they are going to be getting their books in PDF. Unless, I don't know, maybe, unless they're going through knowledge and, whoever's in control of the special accommodations has found a better way to get the books to their students. I don't know. I think PDF is the best way. Okay, good. This one's working this time, so that's a good thing. I'm going to be able to point out some stuff, so I'm kind of excited that this is working now, unlike the last time I did. All right, let me get down to share my screen. Okay, so share screen. Very good. Share screen. I got to share my audio so that you can. Okay, very good. It'll take a minute here for it to what it's supposed to be doing.
Title is StreamYard Google Chrome. Mid camera setting. Stop screen button.
Okay, so we're now sharing the screen. Here is the PDF file. There's a couple things I would like to point out. Using a screen reader with PDF files. Some of the things that can kind of sometimes slow us down a little, or cause us to need to basically go back over what we was reading. Sometimes the screen reader will not read everything the way it should. Now I'm going to slow down my screen reader to try to give you an idea of how this works.
Slower.
Okay.
Juvenile Justice by Elrod.pdf.
So Juvenile Justice.
Justice by Elrod.
By Elrod.
Period.
.pdf.
P.R.E. Stanilrod. E.
Now, as you notice, I didn't even understand that, so I know you did not. Sometimes it just doesn't read it right.
School of Justice Studies, Eastern Kentucky University, Richmond, Chi.
All right, so as you can tell now and down again, I'm down here on, and it's reading to me that next line on the PDF file, or the pages popped up that you're seeing right now.
R. S. J.D.
It doesn't
Tribal
always put everything on the line right.
Spring Arbor University, Kalamazoo, MI. Tribal Court Administrator Adjunct Faculty at Spring Arbor University, Kalamazoo, MI.
And this is just going through the...
Tribal Escott.
Okay. So as you can tell, I'm on the front page. I need to go to the next
Menu.
page. So, and it's going to...
Title is menu bar, file, context menu, file menu.
Why it's doing that. It's being silly on the menus for some reason. So I'm not going to allow that to cause me to end up messing up again.
Title is Juvenile Escott Ritter.
So the point is this. When we go through these files and we're reading our book, we start at the top
Juvenile.
and we down arrow, just like I'm doing now.
School of Justice
Down
Studies,
arrow.
Eastern Kentucky University, Richmond. R.
Down arrow. The next line, it just says R. So I don't know how that you as a sighted person, but JAWS screen reader doesn't always read things the way that they might look. I'm only seeing the R on that very next line. The line that's after
School of Justice
Studies, Eastern Kentucky. The next line down,
R.
I'm only seeing the R. And then I'll down arrow again.
Escott Ritter, JD.
So I'm guessing that maybe that R goes with the name that's below that. And I'm going to down arrow again.
Tribal Court Administrator Adjunct Faculty at Spring Arbor University, Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Tribal Court Administrator Adjunct Faculty.
Now, here's the point. Do you see how I went over that again? I had to listen to it again.
Escott, Tribal Court Administrator Adjunct Faculty at Spring Arbor University, Kalamazoo, MI.
Now, I picked up and pretty well, but if I was to need to pull up a notepad and write down what I just heard, I would have to go back over that. Just like you're reading a book and you look over at your book and you're writing down something you're reading, you're usually not reading that by remembering the whole sentence that it said. You're looking back over at it. Okay, so let me
Tribal Court Administrator at
it's now I need to go to the next page, but the problem is when I do that, I
Go
can
to
do the
page.
command,
space,
which is in
space,
Roman numeral. So
space,
let's do I,
space.
and maybe it'll work.
Okay.
All right, there.
Add
Now.
page view.
Now,
Title is Juvenile World Headquarters.
I'm on a new page. All right, so at the top,
Do not style.
tell me the name of the book,
World
and then as I
Headquarters.
down arrow, the first line, World Headquarters, then Jones and Bartlett. I
And
think it's what it said.
Bartlett. A-R-T-L-E-T.
Yeah, Bartlett
Learning.
Point is, we down arrow, and depending on how every student's going to be different. And let me show you. I slowed this down for you. Excuse me, my voice today. So you could somewhat understand it. Let me show you where I read it from.
Faster.
Okay.
Learning. www.learning.com.
So I know you didn't understand that. I did, but I know you didn't. But the point is, that's how every student's different when it comes to reading. Depending on how fast their scripture is, they can hear it.
Call 800-8320. Substantial discounts on bulk quantities of Jones and Bartlett Learning publication.
Okay, so when a student uses screen reader, there's a lot of things that can, come up. The page might be a page that's got a graph on it or that's got columns on it. If it does, it doesn't read it properly. And we have to figure out what the screen reader is trying to tell us. Now, this is no excuse, but this is what we go through, and this is what can slow us down. For example, if you gave me an assignment and it had 3 columns with like state, city, and zip code, it's going to read it all on the same, all together. And my voice, I apologize. My voice is playing havoc on me today. So I just want you to understand that we can come across many different situations. For example, this book here, if it's not coded the right way, my screen reader would not even read it. And then obviously we'd have to get it fixed. Get a problem in your class with your student. What slows your student down is if they're reading the chapter that's 30 pages, it's going to take them a while to get through that. It is going to take a while. So, not that it take 2-3 weeks, nothing like that, but it's just going to be longer than what it's going to take your student decided. There's a lot of different things that can happen, and I'm not going to go over all of them because we'd be here all night. The point is that I want you to try to understand how we do it and how this affects us when it comes to, trying to get our assignments done and trying to make sure that we do what we need to complete, so that, we're able to keep up, so that we don't get behind, so that we don't fail, so that we can be successful. But the screen reader is something that I think I don't expect an instructor to learn how to use it, but just understand it. Understand the situations. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen here and get that pulled back on here. There's just many different scenarios and different things that a student can face while going through different classes. Every class is different. Every instructor is different. You might have your way set on, students turning in assignments on time and all this. And I do agree on time. But sometimes they're just not going to be. And the most that I ask out of anybody is to just try to understand my situation. Now, you might very well have a student, that might, message you and say, hey, I can't get it done because of this, this, and this, when really they could have and they just didn't want to. You can have a lazy student that uses accommodation just as much as you can have a lazy student that doesn't. But if you understand how it works and you understand what they use or how they do it, you can say, well, listen, I know that you can get that done in such and such time because Johnny did it just last semester when I had it, or whatever. Point is, you understand it. You know what they can and cannot do. So it benefits you at the same time it benefits the student when you can understand how they do this. So, now I can't go over about a screen or a magnifier because I can't use it. And that might be, that's another situation. A student that uses a magnifier, it takes a little longer to read probably because the print's bigger, which means there's more they got to go over pretty much because you see a magnifier and you're going to get 2 or 3 words at a time in the magnifier as they're reading it. I can only remember it vaguely when I used to use a magnifier, and now, of course, I use a screen reader. So again, that's another good example to point out is even understanding how they do things with the magnifier. That is why I try to meet up with my instructors before my class starts so that I can give them a better understanding of who I am and how I do my assignments and what do I use to do my assignments. And when it comes to what I'm using, how does that work? Excuse me. Don't tell me how to run the program myself, but tell me enough so I can understand how you're completing your assignment with that. Is it something that's going to cause you to be, take you a day longer than it would another student to read, 40 pages? Or another good point to make, quizzes. If you've not came across this yet, or you've not had a student yet where you've had to do this, but with the student that uses screen reader, the time will have to be double the time of what you already got it at. So if you got your student's quiz set at 60 minutes, now you're going to have to go in and raise the student who's got the special accommodation that's using a screen reader. You're going to have to raise it to 120 minutes. Now, that's something that you have to do. There's a lot of other situations that you don't have to do. If a student asks you for more time, it's not required by law that you have to give them more time. But it depends on the situation. There's different rules and laws and stuff with all special accommodations, and a lot of it is just understanding it. That's the main thing. So if you got any, please leave your comments down below. We got anybody in the live chat. So just leave your comments below. If you got questions, and I'll be glad to get back to you. And if you enjoyed this live stream, please let us know, and we can do more of these to help you understand that not every student is the same. We all learn different. We all work different, and we all have a different pace when it comes to completing science. And it's up to you as the instructor to better understand, to try to understand what it's like in our shoes.